Hey guys, Marissa at KitchenTableStamper.com. Today I've got another Wonder Recipe number 3 for you. This Wonder Recipe number 3 is like a one-sheet wonder for a 6x6. And with the Wonder Recipe number 3, we can make 8 cards when you use this layout. Alright, so these are the 7 that I've already made. You and I are going to make the 8th one. We only need 1 for now, so I'm going to set these aside. On my blog, you can find the Wonder Recipe printable project sheet. It includes a full color photo, the cutting diagram, special notes, the ingredients that you need to prepare to use the Wonder Recipe, and a supply list, all the Stampin' Up! Supplies that you need to make this. I'm trying to make it as easy as possible for you to make more cards and to send more cards. Okay, so for this Cool Treats thank you card, let me walk through the Stampin' Up! Supplies that you'll need. I used the Cool Treats bundle. It's relatively new to my collection. I am just in love with it. The bundle includes the Cool Treats stamps and the Frozen Treats framelits. When you buy them together, you save 10%. And if you've watched my recent videos, you know that I am head over heels for Cool Treats plus Sweet Cupcake. In a previous card, I used the sweet and the greetings here with the ice creams. Today, I'm going to mix and match the greetings from Cool Treats with the greetings from Sweet Cupcake. These two were just meant to be together. All right, so those are the supplies that we need now for the consumables. I have a printable list of what you need on the blog. So today I'm just going to jump right in and start stamping and putting together the last of our 8 cards. If you'd like the project sheet, it's free, it's printable, it's downloadable, you can save it. It's on my blog, KitchenTableStamper.com, and I'm going to put a direct link right in the video description below this. So go and get that printed off. You don't need to take notes. It's all right there for you. All right, so our pool party card base, we're gonna set that aside. When you use the Wonder Recipe in this particular case, it's a little bit different because most of my Wonder Recipes are a one-sheet wonder for one 6x6 sheet of designer series paper. I wanted a little bit more variety in my patterns this time, so we're going to start with 2 6x6 sheets. We'll cut it both of them according to the Wonder Recipe into 1.5-inch squares. So these are the Cool Treats designer series paper that I cut into 1.5-inch squares. But let me show you the Cool Treats designer series paper. It's gorgeous. Okay, so a specialty designer series paper has either embossed or foil sheets in it. You can see the Cool Treats includes these embossed sheets. So you get one of this embossed sheet and one of this embossed sheet. It's cherries and berries. It's so much fun. Then you also get 2 each of the standard designer series papers. Those are 2-sided and they're 12 by 12. You get 2 of each design. I used this one and I used this one on my card design today. Cut them down to 6x6 and then cut them according to the Wonder Recipe. You also get 2 of this design with the sprinkles. I love that. And this one with the popsicles on the back. You've seen that on some of my cards. And then this one with the ice cream sundaes. Now the first thing we're going to do here is we're going to adhere the squares across the bottom about 1/4 inch. Get some snail adhesive and I just find the bottom of your card. I just ran a nice couple of strips right across the bottom of my card. Now here's where grid paper comes in very handy because 1.5 times 4 is going to give us 1/2 inch too much pattern paper. So we're going to start this first square 1/4 inch off of the card and about 1/4 inch up. And then our next pattern just butts right up against. Then these little ice cream cones. And then when we get to the last paper, we're going to be about 1/4 of an inch off the edge. And we can see that we're keeping everything square and in a nice, neat straight line when we use our grid paper. Okay, so that's how we're using the paper. We have enough squares to make 8 cards. Trim off the excess. Then we can set that aside for just a minute. Now, I have some scraps here of Calypso Coral, Peekaboo Peach, and Pool Party. I got ahead of myself when I was making the other 7 cards. This is crumb cake stamped with crumb cake for the cone, so we're not going to do that stamping. I already got ahead of myself on it. I'm bringing in my foam Stampin' Pierce mat here. I love this thing. And let's get our little sentiment banner too. I didn't go through the stampin' pads that we need for this project. Usually I do that earlier. Let's do that, shall we? Okay, I've got Peekaboo Peach, Calypso Coral, Pool Party, Crumb Cake, Chocolate Chip, and Watermelon Wonder. I've just made my own Stampin' Spot Watermelon Wonder. Okay, so we're going to start out in our lightest colors first so we don't have to clean the stamp as much in between. So I've got my little ice cream scoop and Peekaboo Peach. I'm going to stamp on my Peekaboo Peach, and then I can move straight to my Calypso Coral. No need to clean in between. And I'm stamping Calypso Coral on Watermelon Wonder. In this case, it works just fine, and it actually gives me a lighter tone. I liked it better than the bright red ice cream scoop that the Watermelon Wonder made. I'm going to a contrasting color, so I'm just going to wipe my stamp, and then I'm going to dry it off a bit and move to Pool Party and stamp that scoop. All right, those will set aside to die cut. Now I did my Thanks So Much banner with Watermelon Wonder. Ink that up and stamp the banner. That's a nicer image. Okay, set that aside. Then I've put Your and Cool on the same block. This stamp set has Sweet also, so you can make Your Sweet. I like that the sentiment is flexible. And what we need to do is, before we stamp, we're going to put some washi tape in as a guideline. So we're going to follow our example here and add some Watermelon Wonder striped washi tape right at the edge. And that one is from Affectionately Yours, I believe. And then we've got some Peekaboo Peach washi tape here. And the Peekaboo Peach is from the Playful Palette assortment. Add those guys in there. Now we've got a clear guideline for our sentiment. Ink up with Chocolate Chip and stamp. Okay. Now we are going to go ahead and do some die cutting. Did I do all my stamping? No, I did not. One more thing before we do our die cutting. Let's finish up with the stamps. I've got my Calypso Coral stamped on Watermelon Wonder, and then I've got the chocolate sauce topping. And I'm going to ink that one up with Chocolate Chip and stamp. Okay, now let's move on to die cutting. Okay, so keep in mind that I've already stamped and die cut the cone. Now I've got 3 ice cream scoops to die cut. It's gonna take me 3 passes, so we're gonna do that by the magic of TV. I will cut this one and then cut back in when all the rest of the scoops are die cut. Okay. As you can see, all of my little ice cream scoops are die cut, so let's get to assembling. The first thing we want to do is grab a scissor and cut a little banner end on both our sentiment and our Pool Party scrap. Then we'll take a little bit of snail adhesive on the back and layer these two banners together. I don't like the way I cut that. There we go. Okay, then a little bit more snail adhesive. And we'll place it and cut off any excess. Now our little ice cream cone. I like to take this little edge off of my dimensionals when I'm dealing with the ice cream cone, and let me show you why. I'll put that edge on as low as it will go and then leave the adhesive exposed up above. That's when I build my ice cream cone. So I'll layer the pool party where I like it, and then the peekaboo peach. And then there's a tiny little sticky edge there still. I'll put my little Calypso Coral Watermelon Wonder guy on there. And then that's going to need a little bit more dimensional to support it. But now I have one solid embellishment that I can just peel and stick instead of having to stick each one of those. I don't know, it's a little thing. Makes me happy. Okay, so we're going to put the cone next to Thanks and adhere down our ice cream cone. Then I have some Bermuda Bay 1/8 inch stitched ribbon here. We're going to make a bow. You need about 5.5 inches if you want to cut it off the spool, but we'll just fold, make a loop, go back around your index finger, index fingers to index fingers. You sandwich the ribbon in there and then pass it through and pull the loops. You can get a perfect little bow every time. Cut it off the spool. See, there's no waste when you tie it right on the spool. And then I have a glue dot for my bow, just a little mini one. Gonna embellish the end of those banners. Little liquid glue here. Now, you can see I made a little halo mark with my stamp, but no need to panic because we're going to embellish with some sequins. So put a dot here, kind of to the diagonal of it, one on the knot of our little bow. Then the last thing I'm going to do, because I just think it adds such a cute little flair, I'm going to staple through my sentiment, or I'm going to staple through my sequins. There's our panel. The last thing we have to do here is add it to our card with dimensionals. I'm going to put the sentiment panel here about 1/4 inch from the top fold. Adhere it down, and there it is. Now, the Wonder Recipe makes 8 cards from 2 6x6 designer series paper. There's no waste, and you've got a pile of thank you notes to send. Now, of course, you could change that greeting from thanks so much to happy birthday, and you'd have a pile of birthday cards. Buzz on over to the blog, kitchentablestamper.com. The direct link is right below in the description, and check out the project sheet. It's got all the measurements you'll need. If you've got any questions about the Wonder Recipe, about Stampin' Up, about joining my Stampin' Up team, email me, Marissa@kitchentablestamper.com. I'd be happy to hear from you. Thanks for watching.